Good morning. My name is Roland Jean Charles from PMI JCM Realty Group, where we manage properties from an asset management perspective. I wrote a new article. I'm going to share that article with you. As you know, I don't like reading the articles to you. I like doing a little PowerPoint presentation where I can just talk you through the articles and you still be able to get the value of the content. So what I want to talk to you about today are 3 secrets to working with property management companies that have hidden fees. Now, some management companies have hidden fees. Other management companies don't have hidden fees. Generally speaking, in the property management industry, the average rate, management rate, is about 10%. Sometimes it's a little bit more. Sometimes it's a little bit less. But the average is about 10%. When you see property management companies charging 5-6%, unless they are managing a portfolio for you of a building that's about 100 units or 200 units, you'll never see rates that low unless they're charging you high markup fees on your maintenance, and that's how they make their money during the year. So if you are a landlord and you have 1 or 2 properties, or even 4 or 5 properties, even if you have 10 properties, if the property management company is charging you a rate as low as 5 or 6%, chances are they're charging you high markups, and that's how they're making their money. And so what I want to talk to you about today is 3 secrets to working with those property management companies that charge those hidden fees, so you can protect yourself from it, right? So the first secret that I want to talk to you, tell you about what you need to do when you're working with those property management companies that have hidden fees is ask for itemized receipts. Whether they're using a vendor or whether they are doing the maintenance themselves, they should be able to provide you an itemized receipt. And what I like to see is the receipt itemized between labor and materials. And the rule of thumb that I have is labor should be no more than 1.5 times materials. Now, that's not true in every case, depending on what the issue is and what you're fixing. However, if you keep that rule of thumb, for the majority of work that's being done to your property, you're going to be able to get it at a good rate, right? So let's say, for example, the materials cost $30. The labor should be no more than $45. So the total cost of that maintenance should not be any more than $75. That's just a rule of thumb that I have. And any reputable property management company will be able to provide you a receipt, an itemized receipt, upload that to your portal or send that to you in some way so you'll know how much you're being charged for that particular maintenance item. So always ask for itemized receipts. That will keep them honest, and they'll put them on notice that you are paying attention to the cost of repairs that are happening to the property. The second secret that I would like to tell you is to include a full disclosure audit clause in your management agreement. A lot of large companies have that in there with their service providers, and there's no reason why, as a landlord, you're not able to do that with your property management company. Now, these clauses in these agreements are only as good as your enforcement. So if you don't enforce it, it's not going to do anything for you. So you have to take the time and be engaged and enforce it when you feel like something is not going right. The key is, though, if you don't enforce it, then you may lose the right to be able to do it in the future. So put it in your contract, get it signed in writing, and then enforce it over time. The next thing I would tell you, the next secret I would like to tell you is if you feel like they're charging you hidden fees, or you don't want to have to deal with having to figure out whether they're charging you hidden fees or not, oversee the areas of maintenance yourself. Now, I wouldn't recommend you do that unless you have a maintenance crew or you're skilled in that space, because maintenance can be a very, very challenging area of property management. And I would argue it's one of the most challenging areas of property management. So don't do it if you're not able to do it right. And for me as a property manager, I wouldn't allow my owner to do that because it adds too much risk to my business. Because if they do something wrong or if they don't fix something, then it's me as the property manager that gets the brunt of it. So I wouldn't do that, right? However, there are some property management companies that would allow you to do that. And that's one way that you can definitely help manage the cost of your maintenance, and they'll make sure that you always know what you're paying for your property management maintenance. Now, if you're dealing with a reputable property management company, they will have no problem informing you of how much they're charging you markups for maintenance. Like for me, for example, I don't charge any markups on service calls to any of my properties for maintenance. However, I do charge a markup if we have to do a rehab of your property. So if we have to supervise a rehab, that's a lot more work, and we charge about 25% markup on the rehab. However, we don't charge any markup at all for any maintenance calls that come in from our tenants. And so the key is not whether they charge you markups or don't charge you markups. Sometimes that's just the price or the cost of doing business. The key is if they're doing it in a way that you don't know about it, it's a hidden fee, right? Where they're getting kickbacks from the vendor, and they're adding, 10, 15, 20% on an item. Over time, that's going to cost you a lot, particularly if you don't know about it, then you can't budget for it. And if you can't budget for it, it's going to hit your bottom line. So those are my 3 tips. If you like this article, if you like this video, I am going to be doing a webinar on how to supercharge your rental management business and get the massive growth by streamlining your processes. It's a great webinar. It's free. It's worth the price of admission. It's free. You're going to be able to click on the link in the article at the end of the article. You're also going to be able to click the link at the end of this post in the comment section. And I hope to see you there. It's going to be July 30th. It's a great way to learn more about property management and how to do it right. And it's going to be incredible for all of you who join, because you're definitely going to get a huge value out of it. So thank you for listening. Enjoy your day. Have a great day. Bye-bye.